Hey guys, it's Dre here. Today I have a rehaul for you. So this is where we go back and look at an old haul and I can tell you what I think about all the products. Did I love them? Did I hate them? Are they still with me or not? This is called Dre-ja because it's a play on my name, and Deja Vu. One of you came up with that. This is looking back at a haul from December 8th of 2015, which seems like a very long time ago, and it is, and I feel like I need to do more of these to catch up faster. But basically this was a haul where I had a bunch of birthday stuff and then also some stuff from Winners, which is TJ Maxx. So let's just get into it. The first stuff was some birthday presents. The first one was this. This is the Milani Brow Kit. This is in the shade 02. For a long time I didn't use this because I just didn't use powders. And one video last summer, I decided to do like a bunch of first impressions. And so I pulled this out and started using this, and I really, really like it. And I've been using it since then. I really only use this shade here, which is the deepest brow shade. And this highlight, it's okay. I mean, it's not terrible by any means, but it's just a little too, probably a little too beige for my skin tone. Like, I like my brow highlight to be much lighter than that, so I don't really use it, but I think for a lot of skin tones it would be very pretty. And then this shade here is just a little too warm, but this particular powder, I really like it. The brush that actually comes in this little set is halfway decent for using with this kit. I also got two lipsticks. This first one is the Milani, I think it's the Color Statement lipstick. This is in the shade Violet Volt. The funniest thing, well, it's funny to me anyway, is that for the longest time I thought this was just called Violet because here in Canada, literally almost everything is printed once in English and once in French. And so just looking at it, my brain automatically goes, oh, it's just the English is called Violet and then the other word is French. I know, right? Like, if you're Canadian, I know you know what I mean. But if you're American, you're probably like, you're crazy, woman. What are you talking about? But it's true. Literally, I would only see the first word and I just thought it was called Violet. So this is Violet Volt, and this is a really beautiful pinky purple. It's a little bit lighter, like in a swatch, than the actual bullet looks, but I really, really like this. Surprisingly, like, I am not really into purples, but this on my lips I really love. And I have used it a lot. This one is from Wet n Wild. This is called, it's the weirdest name. It's called Fuschia with Blue Pearl. And by the way, this one does have the French and English on it, so I'm not crazy. Fuschia Perle Bleu. So yeah. Goes to show I'm not crazy. But this is also a duochrome. It's kind of similar. I shouldn't say duochrome because it's not really duochrome, but it does have a shift to it. So this is somewhat similar to Violet Volt, only it's a little bit more pink. You could see, I think you can, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but when I move the tube around, you could see that bluish purple shift to it. So this next thing is something I've talked about regretting already in a previous video. And this is the Laura Mercier Daring by Day Eye and Cheek Color Palette. I bought this myself, but I bought it with money that my grandmother had given me. And my idea was that because she had given me cash, I wanted something meaningful. And I thought if I bought a palette, every time I pulled it out, I would think of her. And I do like this palette, and I don't regret it because it's terrible. The only thing I don't love about this palette is that it's not cohesive. So the cheek colors are gorgeous. The highlight is really pretty. This is one of my favorite blushes ever. I actually own this in a single. This is Lotus Pink. It's stunningly gorgeous. This blush is everything. The highlight is pretty too. It's not my most favorite highlight, but it is very pretty. You can see there, it's nice. And the highlight is called Merengue. But the actual eyeshadow colors are kind of like, they're not in my zone. Like, they're a little too neutral in some ways. And then really the only mattes are the lightest and the darkest shade in there. There's no mid-tone matte at all. So it's really kind of difficult to use. I do think they're excellent quality. There's nothing wrong with the quality at all, but it's just not an easy to use palette. I don't see myself ever getting rid of that just because, like I said, it was my birthday gift from my grandmother. The next thing was actually a birthday gift from my parents. And this is the Kat Von D Monarch eyeshadow palette. Love this. I love Kat Von D shadows. My love for Kat Von D shadows is no secret here on this channel. They really are, like, her and Anastasia are my absolute favorite. So this palette is really gorgeous. This is obviously much more of a fall palette than anything else, but really, and I've done this before, when you go like this, it really just looks like a neutral palette, doesn't it? Like just doing that makes you think, oh my God, it's fall. No, it's really just a neutral palette. So it's hard to kind of get in that zone of, oh yeah, you can use this for every day, because you want to think you can only use it in the fall. But really the shades in here are all stunningly gorgeous. If you like taupes, these two shades here are just, they're so nice. They're so nice. Look at that. And then you have some beautiful mattes. Like there is nothing wrong with the pigmentation in Kat Von D eyeshadow. So this is a beautiful palette. I believe it's now discontinued. I almost just dropped it on the floor. That would be a tragedy. I really wish that Kat Von D would come out with a few more permanent palettes, or at least palettes that would stay around as long as this one kind of did, or longer. I feel like recently the only permanent palette she has is the Shade and Light, and then everything else is limited edition. And it's really hard to keep up with all these limited edition releases, and it's kind of disappointing. Like I want more from her like this, like the Shade and Light, but just different colors. Like I feel like I need more from Kat Von D recently and less limited edition. Also from my parents, I got the Jem with Sephora collaboration. This is when the Jem movie came out. When I was growing up, this cartoon was my jam. Jem was my jam. I had the dolls, I had like, they had soundtracks, I think. Like honestly, I just used to love Jem. Anyway, so they came out with this whole collaboration. I kind of wanted the eyeshadow palette. In retrospect, I'm kind of glad I didn't get it because it was all kind of crazy colors. But this is 5 of the Sephora cream lip stains. I don't know what it is about these in particular, but they went off really quickly. Like they don't smell good anymore. They, yeah, they smell really weird. They smell kind of chemically. This one here, you can tell is like completely separated. So I really didn't get a ton of use out of them. I probably wouldn't have gotten use out of most of them anyway, except for like these 2 kind of neutrals here. And I did use these a few times. But I am keeping this because I have it kind of on display on my shelf and it looks really nice there, and I'm not gonna get rid of it anytime soon. But I did want to say, like the Sephora cream lip stains that I have in their regular full-size packaging, I've had some longer than this, so I don't know, they are completely fine. The next thing was not a birthday gift, because I know I purchased this myself, but I don't remember why I had it in this haul. But anyway, this was the Real Techniques eyeshadow brush set. It did come with like a carrying case, which I don't know where that is. I never use these, you guys. Like maybe this one, but all of these, I had to go searching for them because they're not in my everyday area. So what you have here is, this is supposed to be the crease brush. It is humongous. Like there's no way this is a crease brush. I have used this on occasion for applying like my Painterly paint pot, but I really don't use that at all. This eyeliner brush is way too thick. I don't think you can get any kind of precise winged liner with it. However, you might be able to get like a nice, use it like for smudging out regular cream eyeliner. I don't know, I haven't tried it for that. And same thing with this eyeliner brush. It's like a really pointy, thin brush, but it's a little too splayed out on the end, and I feel like I could never get anything precise with this either. And then this one here is called the Base Shadow Brush, but it really doesn't, like it's not a good lay down brush. It doesn't apply product all over the lid evenly. This is more of a crease brush, and actually I could tell I used this long ago and never cleaned it because it's still got black eyeshadow on it. But it kind of to me is the shape of like a MAC 217, and I could see this actually being an okay brush. I might give this one a try again, but for the most part I never use them. This one though I do use. This is called the Accent Brush, and sometimes I will use this for applying inner corner highlight because it's like the perfect size for that. The next thing was the holiday palette from Smashbox. This is called the Art.Love.Color palette, and I know a lot of people don't like this packaging because it's really bulky, and it is bulky, but I still love it. I love the colorfulness of it. I think it's so pretty. You open it up and inside you have all these rows of color, and I just love it. Now I don't use this too often, and I definitely don't use it on my channel because it was limited edition, so I can't really get a lot of use out of it. But this would be so much fun to do like a random color challenge with, or like a palette bingo, and I think I actually might do that. I'm really thinking, actually I know I'm gonna do the random color challenge, so I'm thinking maybe this would be a good one for that. There's a huge mix of mattes and shimmers in here. These shadows definitely have fallout. You have to keep that in mind. Like, there's no getting around it, but they do last all day. They have beautiful pigmentation. I'm a big fan. Every one has a row. Like, it's kind of meant so that you go cheek color and then eye color. Cheek color, eye color. So you could obviously just easily figure out an eye look, but of course you can mix and match them too. And they're clearly labeled, like obviously the bigger ones here are cheek colors. This particular shimmer one, it's actually called Shimmer. This highlight is so gorgeous as a highlight. The times that I use this palette and I use that as a highlight, I go through my day just staring at my highlight. It's so pretty. So I love this palette and I am definitely never getting rid of this. One thing in this haul that I have gotten rid of is the NYX Butt Naked Turn the Other Cheek palette. And that one had a bunch of eyeshadows, a bunch of cheek products. I hated that palette so much. I did a full review on it. It had no pigmentation. They were so muddy, the shadows. They were so hard to blend. The cheek products were so powdery and just not good. So I recently decluttered that, and it really makes me hesitant to ever buy that kind of palette from NYX again. I haven't experimented very much with NYX shadows, but the ones that I haven't been that impressed with. So I did go to Winners, bought a bunch of stuff. They had a bunch of cosmetics in their beauty section. One thing was this, it was actually a set. It was this blush and then a lipstick. Now, City Color Cosmetics, don't ask me why. For some reason, when they put together their sets that they sell in boxes, at least back then, I don't know if they've changed it, they don't name their colors. Like, they don't name their blushes, they don't name their lipsticks. I had also purchased in this haul a 5-piece set of lipsticks, which I've since decluttered because I didn't like the colors, and also I couldn't use them on my channel because I can't tell you what the names are. Same with this. Like, this is a really nice mauve-y kind of cool tone pink blush, nice pigmentation, blendable, but there's no shade name. And this came with a lipstick, which I have decluttered. I also purchased the Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Brow Color, which was like a brush tip brow marker. I had that product before and it lasted a long time, but the one that I got from Winners went dry really, really quickly. And you know, you can kind of figure out why. It's kind of like they're clearancing things out there, so they might be a bit older. I also bought the Makeup Forever eyeshadow stick. It's called the Aqua Shadow Waterproof Eye Pencil, and it's in the shade 0E, I think. It's just black. I mean, it's their black one. That's it there. It is not very creamy. Like, it kind of sticks to my skin while I'm trying to draw with it. It doesn't just glide on. I never use this, but then again, I don't really use black bases with my eyeshadow anyway. It's good to have for when and if I need to, but I don't really do it. A couple more things from that Winners haul was the LA Colors contour palette, which I actually used in a bought it forgot it for a while, and I didn't like it. I didn't like the quality of it. All the shades were way too warm toned. The blush in it was pretty, but that was about it. Like, all of the contour shades were way too warm toned and the highlights were super powdery, so not a fan of that. I also bought the Philosophy Sparkling White Ginger Body Wash. You know, their 3-in-1 shampoo bubble bath body wash. It was beautiful. It was, first of all, it smelled like champagne mixed with ginger ale. So it smelled so good, and it had kind of this golden sparkle in it. So pretty. It was their holiday one. I loved it. Used that all up. And the very last thing was this that I found at Winners. This is the NARS Foreplay Cheek Palette. So it has in here 3 blushes and 1 highlight. The highlight is golden, so I never use it because it is just straight up pure gold. And it's very kind of choppy and powdery, and it doesn't blend well, and it has some glittery shimmer in it that doesn't blend well. I do not like that shade. This shade here is Orgasm. This is the only pan of Orgasm that I have in my collection, which is why I've kept this, because that is a pretty color. But if it wasn't for that, I would have decluttered this, because these 2 shades here, I don't even know what they're called. I could look it up. These are both matte and they're very silky smooth. There's nothing wrong with them. except for just the fact that the pans are so tiny. Like, how do you get a blush brush in there? So really what I ended up doing was kind of mixing everything together, and I didn't really like that. But at least this pan is big enough that I can fit a brush into it and use it that way. So, you know, I like the way NARS does their cheek palettes now, which is like the nice bigger size pans, and I would definitely buy that, but I don't think I would ever buy anything like this again, even if it was on clearance. So that was everything that I had to tell you about from that haul. Surprisingly, I actually have more that I've kept than I've used up or decluttered, because a lot of my older hauls I've decluttered a lot of stuff from. But there was a lot of stuff in this haul that I really loved, especially like eyeshadow wise. But that's it for now. I hope that you found this valuable and you got some good reviews out of it. Don't forget to leave me any comments if you have any questions. And don't forget to subscribe if you're new here. I'd love to have you around for all my future videos. That is it for today. I hope that you're having a great day, and I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.